All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to our Sound Goblin Gaming Tuesday night stream. I am, as always, your host, the Krampus.
I'm Bograt.
I'm Shiv.
And I'm Hunter Grain.
All right. Forgive me for the late start. That was on me. Just getting
It's all good.
late start, all things considered. But we are back with what is probably going to be the last session of Civ 6, the randomized run.
Safe bet. Just ignore my big stompy friends.
You say it like I have anything to worry about from your big stompy friend.
I know,
Clearly
wow.
not. Yeah, they're just friendly. I have so many things to send everywhere. There we go. Wait, no, still moving stuff apparently. Stop there.
Anybody happen to have, just by chance, like 10 aluminum they could send me?
Sure.
I don't think I've gained the ability to find aluminum yet.
Almost certainly not.
Well, it's like I think it's one of my. Wait, no. I can find aluminum actually. Let me see if I have any. Like I haven't gotten any yet, but
It's fine if Shiv can send me. I literally only need 10.
There you go.
Appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
holy shit, aluminum is actually within range of Tokyo. I can actually get Tokyo heading towards it.
Because one of the projects to accelerate the exoplanet thing requires 30 aluminum to start it. And I would be at 20 aluminum, like on the moment I start it, like the moment I unlock that project, basically.
I cannot quite get to it yet. Oh well.
Fine.
Yeah.
I only need it one time. I don't think anything even uses aluminum as maintenance. It's only construction cost stuff, so... Oh, right. I forgot about that very bizarre thing.
Huh.
For some reason, you need to develop the cultural heritage civic before you can find shipwrecks.
Well, you don't care about shipwrecks before that, I guess.
I guess. It's a very bizarre civic for it to be attached to. This is our cultural heritage, hitting rocks in the ocean.
I was gonna say, is that the one that gives you access to museums?
Nope, it's the one that gives you access to the Sydney Opera House, but no, museums is a completely separate one.
Huh. Because that's like
That
the one that
gives
gets you archaeologists, right?
Yeah, that one gives you the ability to get the archaeologist unit and see antiquity sites, which is where you dig up relics.
Yeah.
No, this one gives you plus 100 tourism from great works of art and artifacts as a yellow policy you can have. The ability to build the Sydney Opera House, the ability to see the shipwreck resource, and 3 envoys. It's just a very weird civic altogether.
I found a pirate ship. Or a barbarian ship.
Well, it's Australia's day, huh?
Well, you know. He didn't like me, so.
As I recall, he did also talk shit to you about having a giant death robot near his border.
He
hadn't
talks
done
shit
that
to
yet.
anyone who has anything near his border.
He's been talking shit all the time, so.
Yeah, he has a problem with me anytime I have something passing in the space between Gifu and his borders. He's like, oh, you have shit at my borders. I'm like, yeah, it's because we fucking share borders, asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. I can't let that happen.
Huh.
Friendship expired between me and Krampus.
Ah.
Oh, I am now naturally getting coal. Nope, no, I'm not. That's just from the last time I was actually getting it. How weird. So I need to get some military units range of this goddamn apostle to deal with it. Wait, there we go. Oh, I can't condemn a heretic for not at war with the nation?
Nope.
Well, only one thing to do.
War were
You
declared.
could attack it with other
I don't have other religious units.
religious units, but
Fukuoka, can you create a apostle to go kill this motherfucker? Thank you. Take that, barbarian scum.
That's not very nice.
Why? They're barbarians and scummy.
On that topic, I'm actually really interested in the new thing that was added in the most recent patch set.
The barbarian
Oh.
update.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that actually seems really cool. So for those of you who may not be aware of this, Civ 6 with every significant update tends to add some sort of new system or optional mode. And the most recent one is a whole system for barbarians, where they basically have barbarians that are in a spot have sort of this meter, I guess is the best way to pull it. Basically, they've got a score towards developing into a city state instead of being just a barbarian tribe. There's a bunch of different types of barbarian tribes. They have different focuses, do different things, and you can actually engage in diplomacy with barbarian tribes, for instance, to befriend them so that they'll leave you alone. You can send them after your enemies, things like that. And gradually they will eventually grow into a city state if they do certain things and you treat them a certain way, and they'll become an allied city state that you have, you're the suzerain of and whatnot if you had a good relation with them. They actually just made the barbarians a lot more complex rather than just, hey, you're gonna randomly spawn some mid-tier enemies over here every once in a while and go deal with them.
Yep.
It's actually a really interesting mechanical change, and to a certain extent I feel like it's one of the most interesting mechanical changes they made in the series as a whole.
Yeah, there's a lot of other 4X series that have done interesting things with their equivalent of the barbarians. Like Space Pirates and stuff, and Galactic Civ 3. Stuff like that. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what all the changes amount to.
I mean, even in aspect of that, I think this is probably one of the more unique things, that a 4X style game has even done with that type of, enemy spawn thing. Because, there are some, Gal Civ, or, I think even in Stellaris now, you can actually have some level of diplomacy with Space Pirates, but nothing quite as complex as them literally turning into the equivalent of a city state, basically a minor civilization in the game. I just think it's really cool, and it's actually really interesting to me on a level of it's amazing that even after all this time, the Civ devs still are able to come up with new ideas and new mechanics to implement in this game.
Yeah, I've started collecting Niter.
Just like my my favorite grand strategy game, which has implemented a new system now.
Oh.
So in Crusader Kings 3, they've implemented semi-procedurally generated poetry. The quality of which can vary depending upon the skill of the person writing the poem. And this can, in fact, be used to torture prisoners.
Ah,
As well it
Vogon
should.
poetry style.
Yes, they literally use the Vogon poetry quote. It is actually quite amazing. Yes, quite literally, my daydream comes to an abrupt end when the cell door is thrown open. The guard's silhouette is familiar, but the man behind him... Oh. Oh no. Lord Merrick pulls out a long scroll tucked into his armpit. I hope you don't mind if I read you a volume of 2 of my finest poetry. Then he begins.
Fantastic.
Also, to all of our non-viewers, don't worry, I won't subject you to a game of Crusader Kings. I absolutely adore that series. Even I recognize that it's the rough equivalent of staring at a 1,000-line Excel spreadsheet. I am just a giant enough history nerd to enjoy being able to do really stupid shit with history.
Australia sent out helicopters in boats.
Australia just fired a field cannon at a giant death robot.
How did that work out for them?
It did.
I'm just going to acknowledge that that is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Helicopters.
Oh.
They're on boats.
Yes.
Yes, helicopters go. I mean, helicopters do go on boats across the ocean.
It is a legitimate thing with aircraft in this game, with the exception of aircraft carriers, which specifically have the thing for actually being able to base out and launch aircraft. Aircraft crossing over oceans and stuff will transport on boats. Literally, my I think I finally upgraded it to a drone at some point. But when I had that observation balloon flying around, it would it would get on a boat to cross the ocean.
Funny.
Which is especially exceptionally ludicrous when you realize, as barely functional as they were, one of the things Zeppelins were actually designed for was cross-oceanic travel. I mean, in practice, they were mostly designed to explode spectacularly, but
Only the ones filled with explosives.
it's true. The rest of them just, deflated or got hurled miles off course by a light breeze. It wasn't filled with explosives, it was painted with explosives. It's also only one theory and not fully confirmed that the Hindenburg was basically painted with thermite. Oh look, Canberra fell.
Yeah.
Happens. You know what my favorite part about that happening?
Huh?
Now I can actually sail south of Gifu and not get yelled at.
Yeah.
Hey, you stay out of my waters.
That was
See-
one of the things that saddened me with the most recent patch notes, is they removed the ability to give the no and stop asking answer to actual players. Oh.
Declared war on Pericles or Pericles?
Well, Trahan and Pericles went to war, and I'm assuming Krampus has an alliance with Trahan of some sort.
Yeah, my research alliance, which I guess is coming back to have unexpected yields.
Eh.
You'll be fine.
Yep. I'm not especially worried about it. I can't build giant death robots, mind you, but...
And give time.
So I'm at war with Pericles. Got it. You know what that means, kids.
I mean, also, you're not particularly near him, so
No, our
focus on fighting Trahan.
yeah, the southern tip of both of our empires are kind of close to each other, so that's about it.
You have, like, Niagasola, which is sort of near Arsalos, but, like, that's about it.
Yeah. Game.
Oh.
Game was taking a long time to think about an order I gave it.
You're telling it to, like, move a unit?
Yeah.
It's because you can see my giant death robots. It, for some reason, refuses to move things at the same time giant death robots are moving.
Ah.
So you're going to have to watch my giant stompy boys walk across your territory first.
Just remember, they are beautiful. Do not be upset that they are moving through there.
Fine, I
so-
can't attack them. We have an alliance.
Fair enough. They all suffer the fate of America.
For 7 more turns.
So if I don't expect treachery at this point.
I'll
I
be
don't
honest.
know what you're talking about as I sit atop my giant coffer of stolen Molly gold.
I'll admit that one point when they were traversing through Japan,
Uh-huh.
and there were 3 of them right on top of Fukuoka, I'm like, you know, if he decided, fuck it, I'm blowing this place up, there's nothing I can do.
I think you and I have fairly recent alliances with him, as I recall, so we still got probably 20 plus turns on those.
23 turns, I checked.
I'm not the least bit worried that he just said, I checked.
You guys are safe.
For now.
I know how his bread's buttered.
I mean, don't worry too much. This game's not going to last another 23 turns.
Nope.
Mally shouldn't be concerned about these giant death robots. He paid for 3 of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Alright, will everyone who's not stealing from Maui please raise your hand?
I'm not! How does one steal?
Okay, when everyone who is stealing from Maui or has developed the concept of stealing, please raise your hand.
Yeah, no, the Sahelanthropus was 2/3 funded by Mali, whether they knew it or not.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was just never able to get my hands on some uranium.
What's uranium?
It's this glowy rock that 3 different empires are currently using to run roughshod over another empire.
I have exactly as much uranium to maintain a single death robot.
So
I don't
have
know why
exactly enough uranium to maintain 5 giant robots.
I don't know why they call them death robots. They haven't killed any of my people.
Exactly.
The robot's destroying my face party.
Oh, hey, they have a giant death robot.
Yes, they do.
Probably not as good as yours.
Pericles has proposed a deal. 13 gold now for 30 turns Coco. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing anything with that Coco. Sure.
It's any
Ooh.
consolation, he will never see the end of that Coco deal.
He wants 8 of my Niter for 1 gold now and 3 gold over 30 turns and open borders for me. No, fuck it. Sure.
No. No, when you're a terrible person for trying, John Curtin. He will give me 2 gold a turn in exchange for 1 marble and going to war with Bograt.
Wow.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, you could take it if you want to. You can declare war on me. You don't have to do anything about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
For 2 gold a turn, it's not worth it.
Hell, it's not even worth it for the marble, honestly. Unless, of course, you're not using the marble, in which case it might be worth it.
I mean, overall, it's like 60 gold. It's not a bad price for 1 marble.
To be fair, for me, that would be an alright deal. For Krampus, that 2 gold a turn is like
Meaningless.
nothing. Whoops.
Yeah, fair enough.
I didn't mean to keep that city. Oh well.
Achievement unlocks Seahenge.
The seas rose again.
Ah.
Yep.
Damn all you people. I'ma make CO2.
Alright, next make a Planeteers mod for the game.
I once again have reason to declare holy war on Pericles. I don't think I've ever not had a reason to declare war on Pericles.
Meanwhile, across the wreck of what used to be Australia, a single group of Japanese individuals are pushing a cannon. We
What?
can only guess their purpose.
Where is this?
Over where Australia used to be, there's just one of your guys with a cannon. Just
Yep.
pushing a cannon across the
Field cannon
landscape.
Oh, right. That can. Oh, hold on. I need to reset that cannon on Explorer mode. Oh, I can't. I only get the option to make them dead.
Yeah, they have to be active. They have to have not moved yet to be able to set them to auto explore. To be able to do it next turn.
Yeah, no, literally, I just had them like, you know what? You're not doing anything, and you're on the ocean, so you're going like actual distance for some fun. Go explore. Reveal the map to me.
Oh, you better be careful as you're stomping across there, Shiv.
Oh,
Well, you only got one more city left before you hit Townsville, and I have definitely seen the Powerpuff Girls fuck up a giant robot before.
Tomorrow turns, I'll learn about plastic. Spec Ops. Realistic, I only want so I can get plus more food from fishing boats. Mm-hmm. Japanese love our fish. And rice.
fish.
Fish. That's certainly what Japanese fishing boats are gathering.
Uh-huh. Look,
Some
we
of them are
haven't...
gathering fish.
It's like, we haven't got the tech tree upgrade for whaling boats yet. Give us time. Sun Wukong, you are now on Auto Explorer.
Okay, right. I get the same issue I was running into before. Don't have any siege.
You know, leave Brisbane as a sliver of health and hope this barbarian mechanized infantry takes their city.
I officially have nothing but future tech left to research. Get those points towards that score victory that's not going to happen.
failed me, barbarians.
John Curtin, why? I haven't done shit to you.
He's on his last legs.
Oh, it's because we have different government. Go fuck yourself. You're about to die.
What's the combat strength of a giant death robot at this point?
Some.
Like 120 range strength, but there's also different bonuses. Like,
yeah, it very much depends what additional technologies you've researched, because there's a bunch of them that add different stuff to it.
yeah, like they don't have XPs, they don't level up like the other units do. But they have techs that increase their abilities.
Sorry, I'm not willing to offer them aid after all the times they have yelled at me, simply sailing by. Fuck them.
Oh, sorry, John. Bank's closed. Caught one of his spies.
Fine. There's also no reason to loan to a dead man.
Loan nothing. He was trying to steal money from me, but I caught him.
Ah.
But John, the dead have no need for money. Oh, never mind.
Alright, we're still...
I was about to ask why the hell you put so much towards helping me realize, alright, yeah, stuff you get for being the top donator.
Dang it, turn order screwed me on that one.
Huh.
So, John still had a sliver of health. He still had, like, one thing left. And if I had gotten in quick enough and paid him money, I could have gotten 2 more diplomatic victory points out of it by the time you wiped him out. Because even if you don't reach the end of the 30 days, or the 30 turns for the diplomatic aid mission, it still counts whoever's the highest. So I could have gotten 2 more diplomacy points, but you killed him right before I could make the deal. So the game locked me out of it, and now John is no longer a player on the world stage.
Happens.
Who?
Exactly. Also, I'm fairly certain that puts me out of the running for victory.
I mean, I'm fairly certain Bograt's going to win by technological victory.
Yeah.
Here in presumably a couple turns.
Precisely 2 turns by my math.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Then at least you won't destroy me.
Why would I destroy you? We have an alliance.
Alliance that I'm guessing doesn't expire before Bograt wins.
He also has no reason to attack you.
One turn, but I have no reason to attack you.
So I'm thinking I should have gone more science-focused so I could get better units.
Oh, I'm definitely thinking that myself. I'm about to learn economics in 4 turns. That won't happen.
I neglected science, so the one thing that a lot of gold can do for you, which is allow you to build things real quick and get a big army going up, didn't really pan out for me because my army was always lower class than everyone else's. And I did not expand far enough, so I wasn't able to get large supplies of the materials I needed for units. So I was.
What does this expand you speak of?
It's for people who don't win the science victory. Don't worry about it, Lady Six Sky.
Fuck you.
Oh, hey, I discovered Future Civic again.
We, the Mayan people, have determined that this planet is, in the vernacular, hella fucked, but it's okay, we found a better one, peace out, bitches.
Basically. Yeah, gold by itself cannot win. You gotta put your gold into something.
Well, yeah, what's the point of having so much money if you're not doing it with the money?
Gold for gold's sake does you no good.
Yeah. I was in the mindset of another 4X game where the economic victory by itself is a thing. And by the time I was like, wait, that's not a thing. I had to...
There is not an economic victory in this like there is an Endless Legend.
Correct.
Also, I overestimated the bonus that you get from, from the
dust
desert tile bonus
our civilization
that they get.
rose. So too
And I should have been
shall
building
we
cities
fail,
in more favorable areas.
as the light of our people fades to nothingness. We
Yeah,
wonder
there's
if
no
dawn will
one.
rise to rekindle our flame.
There's no one in Civ 6 who has enough of a tile bonus to really negate getting over like desert or
Yeah,
things like the was in 5. Like 5, you had like Saladin,
Yeah.
who was literally just +1 food, +1 production on desert tiles, so he could settle in desert no problem whatsoever. The only way to really make a pure like desert city viable, this one, is to get Petra on it, but that only affects 1 city.
Can I just say that I fucking love for the ranking when I'm looking at defeat? I achieved the ranking of Ethelred the Unready, but at the bottom of the list is Dan Quayle.
Uh-huh.
I fucking love that.
Yes, my score was not great, but I won the game.
Yep.
Yep, that's all that matters in the end.
Yeah, no, there are strategies of things to do with the massive amounts of gold production that Molly gets.
Oh yeah, I didn't do them in nearly enough time for them to make a difference. I should have pivoted that into building a bunch of either campuses or theater districts.
Yeah, culture is actually the easiest way for Molly
yeah.
to win, because you can pump shit tons of money into culture, and then basically, like, especially with AI civilizations, they will just straight up sell you their great works for enough money.
Yep.
But still had a good time. Civ 6, despite some rough patches, as we saw, was still one of the preeminent 4X games for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason this series has been around for like 35 years.
But that's where we're gonna end it. We've finished our game, and we'll probably do something like this again. We're all big 4X buffs, and we all don't really need a reason to play. Not immediately. We're not going to do another game of Civ 6, but
I might be competent next time.
It just takes practice.
We'll do something else. We'll do.
Yeah, got to figure out the mechanics and whatnot and how it works.
Yeah.
We'll do Endless Legend, or see if we can figure out how the fuck Stellaris even plays now, or we'll wait around while everybody else deals with Combat Simulator.
No. Even I'll just veto that one right out.
I don't know what that is, and I think I'm happy with that.
Age of Wonders 3?
Planetfall.
Or Age of Wonders Planetfall,
Age of Wonders Planetfall, which is in itself actually a really good game. It's totally fine single player.
Yes.
The problem is that for the combat in that game, they have a thing where you basically go into like a tactical grid view and like actually like control your units and do combat like that. The problem is if you're playing this multiplayer, literally everyone else can't do anything while you're doing that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like Endless Legend has a similar combat thing. We actually like the area you're in turns into like a grid, and you fight on that particular hex grid with the actually controlling the units that are in your armies. But it doesn't prevent other people from doing things. Like the problem with Age of Wonders Planetfall is that if someone else is in a combat, I literally can't do anything. I can't build units in my cities. I can't tell people to move. It's basically the entire game pauses while the combat is going, which is just awful for multiplayer.
Yeah, for the very brief period of time. Yeah, for the very brief period of time we were doing a multiplayer game on our own, it got to the point where I literally would just like watch an episode of anime while somebody else was fighting. Because that's the other thing too, is that the Age of Wonders Planetfall combat isn't quick either.
No.
No.
I
Like,
kind
Age
of
of
want
Wonders Planetfall just plays out the entire thing, and similarly in Endless Legend, all the combats are limited to like 5 or 6 turns.
Yeah.
So like that just like if you don't make it in 5, whatever the time limit is, I think it's 6 turns. You just didn't destroy the enemy army. They just took some damage, and you're both still there.
It's a stalemate basically.
It's a stalemate effect or whatever damage.
Whereas
you get
Planetfall
and
requires
again,
it to go until
everyone
one
else
or
can
the other
still
side
do
is
shit while this
eliminated.
happens, in addition to having fights of their own.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to see a game like this where instead of everyone like in a multiplayer game, instead of everyone controlling their own civilization, the players control different aspects in the same civilization. Like one person's controlling the military aspect, another person's controlling trade, another person's controlling religion, another person's controlling like designing the placement of like the districts of the town, and doing stuff like that. It would be you'd have to work together to figure out like where are the finances we're bringing in, how are they being separated? Same thing with the resources that are coming. Would be an interesting.
That sounds like a very interesting idea, and I'm like 90% certain I've seen a game like that before. It's just not coming to me right now what it was.
Yeah, that's tickling
very
something
fun.
in the back of my head that I've seen that before.
Because that was probably the biggest problem with me with this is there are so many things to work on that it feels like, oh, I want to do this, to work on this. Oh shit, now I'm out of the money that I needed to be able to do this, or the resources I needed to do this. And it felt like I was just dealing with too many fronts at the same time.
Yeah, especially for your first time, it can be a lot to take in. But eventually you kind of sort of figure things out. Like,
Yeah.
you figure out the aspects of the game you want to focus on, which is also very dependent upon what civilization you're playing as, and you kind of focus in on those and kind of ignore the parts that you don't care about. Like, for instance, aside from, building a giant death robot with stolen funds, I gave zero fucks about military that entire game, pretty much, because I was never intending on really going to war with anybody. I essentially built enough units to, like, have some defenses on my own base in case somebody wanted to start shit, but I was never looking to build up a major military force, so I never really focused on any of it. Never really concentrated on that at all. I concentrated on exactly what I wanted to do, which was science.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I'll look into it, because like I said, that what you were suggesting there absolutely sounds to me like a game I've seen before, and it's just not occurring to me what the fuck it was. So if I can figure that out, we'll look into that.
Okay.
All right.
Grampus, are you still in game?
Yeah, I'm still in
Or
game.
Are you still on the defeat screen?
Yep.
Okay, go to graphs.
Uh-huh.
Go to
Oh,
player
God.
gold.
Player Gold.
Oh,
Yeah. No, Player Gold's funny. Player Gold is funny because of the secret society thing that just gives you 3% interest on your gold every turn, in addition to whatever else you're getting.
Just the rocket that takes after a moment. Like, clearly you stop spending gold at a certain point.
I couldn't buy units because unit purchasing takes the resource that they need as well as
Yeah, you just have to...
Yeah, you still have to have the oil or iron or
and
whatever.
I was just starved as shit
Were
for
you not
any
founding
reason.
cities or anything? Because you can super build up cities with money.
All of my cities literally had nowhere else to build on unless I built over an existing improvement.
Yeah. do
Yeah.
it. Districts are more important than improvement. When you get to the point where you don't have any things that aren't improvements to build districts on, you build districts on top of them.
Also, I could
That's
only
the
do
rule.
that for
Yeah,
one city at a time.
The Anno series, by the way.
Well, no, it's the thing. You have the guy who can build districts.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get a district down, you can instantly build every building in that district for your money. So, like...
No,
you
yes, that's what I was doing. All of the districts, the buildings in the districts were fully built.
Yeah.
There was no district that had a building waiting except for power plants, because I didn't have the resources to fuel power plants anyway, and every single resource point I had was going into unit costs for the war with Dido, and by the time the war with Dido was over, the game was pretty much resolved at that point.
Clearly, you need to build a city in the middle of the ocean just to get a bunch of oil.
I did that. Asterisk.
Asterisk.
There was a place that had like 3 oil deposits that I could have taken, but it was too close to another one of my existing cities.
Ah.
It was like literally a 1 tile thing off the coast.
But it was within 4.
Yeah.
Go to war with someone else, they can raise that city to the ground so you can reposition.
Yeah.
I considered doing weird shenanigans like that. Anyway, so that's it for Civ 6. Join us on Saturday when we'll be continuing with a much more fun game than we used to be playing. When we play through more of Atelier Ryza.
Uh-huh.
And join us on Sunday for more of the nonsense that is Zero Time Dilemma.
Indeed.
Just nonsense. Throw your papers up in the air. Nothing matters anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll think of something to do for next Tuesday.
Yep.
Until then, I've been your host, the Krampus.
I've been Bograt.
I've been Shiv.
And I've been Hunter Grain.
All right, have a good one, everyone.
Bye, everyone.